Hello and welcome to GameRules.com. My name is Mark, and today I'm going to show you Snailed It. This is a hand-shedding card game for 3 to 6 players from Michael Modler. Originally known as Cabanga, this is one of the newer releases that's a retheming of an older game from Hasbro Games. Let's dive in and see what this little hand shedder is all about. Out of the box, you will get an instruction booklet and an 80 card deck. You have 4 snail cards, and the deck is made up of 8 starter cards with 72 playing cards. The playing cards are made up of 4 different colors, and they are numbered 1 through 18. Each card also has a point value, denoted by this symbol here. Cards can be 1, 2, or 3 points. To set up the game, you're going to separate the 4 snail cards, place them in a column like so, shuffle the 8 starter cards, and then randomly deal them out so there is 1 card on the left and 1 card on the right side of each snail card. So your setup's going to look like this. Then shuffle the remaining cards, the 72 card deck, and deal 8 cards to each player. Players should keep their hands a secret. I'm showing the hands here for the tutorial. The rest of the cards are then placed at the top of the column. These will form the penalty pile. The youngest player goes first. All right, we'll have our player here at the bottom of the screen go first. On your turn, you will play 1 card from your hand to the column. You will play the color of your choice, either to the left or the right of that row. So for our first turn here, let's keep it simple. We'll have our player play their blue 1. And you can place it on either side of the snail card that matches the color. For this turn, we'll have him place it here. Now, as soon as a card is played, if that played card creates a gap between the 2 numbers in that color row, then players are able to respond in a certain way, and we'll cover that here in a minute. However, if you play a card and no gap is created, your turn ends and play passes left. All right, we'll have play continue left, and we'll have the middle player go here. Now it's their turn, and they're going to play a card that creates a gap. We'll go ahead and have this player play an orange 15 up here on top of the 5. Now, they have created a gap between the 2 numbers in the orange row. Any number between 3 and 15 can fill that gap. Each player then looks at their hand, and if they have any cards that fill that gap, they can throw them at the person who played. So our next player actually has the 12, which fills that gap. So they throw it at the middle player. Our player here at the bottom of the screen does not have any cards that fill the gap, so they can't throw anything. Players can continue to throw cards until the next person begins their turn. When a player is done receiving all the cards that are getting thrown at them, they must draw a number of cards from the penalty pile equal to the number thrown at them. So our middle player must end their turn by drawing a single card. That card is then added to their hand. Cards thrown at the player are not kept in hand. They are placed aside, and if the draw pile runs out, they will be used, shuffled, and turned over to begin a new penalty pile. We can place that aside. All right, there's one more rule regarding how to play cards to the discard pile. We'll come back down here to the player at the bottom of the screen, and they're going to go ahead and play this 3 right here. Nobody has any cards that can fill that gap, so their turn's over. Now, our next player is going to play this 4. Now, seemingly, that's a good play because they did not create a gap. Nobody can throw any cards at them. However, when you play the same color as the player before you, you must draw 1 penalty card. So, even though they didn't get anything chucked at them, they still have to draw 1 penalty card from the penalty pile and add that to their hand. Now, from that point, turns all go the same. People are going to try to get rid of cards from their hand. You're trying to have the lowest score at the end of the round, or you're trying to have an empty hand altogether. So let's go ahead and fast forward and see how the round ends and how to keep score. All right, here we have fast forward a little bit. Our middle player is down to 1 card, and let's say it's their turn. Here's what can happen. They have a 9. Now let's say they play it. We've created no gap here between the numbers. Nobody can throw cards at them. They have successfully emptied their hand, and that ends the round. And from that point, we can tally up our score and write it down on the score sheet. However, let's pretend, let's see, what can we do here? We'll switch this. We'll switch this around. Let's say they had this 16 and they played it. They emptied their hand. However, people can fill the gap that they created. Actually, they can fill it with a lot of cards. If you empty your hand, but you still have cards thrown at you, you're not out. The round does not end. You must continue playing because now you have to draw 3 penalty cards. And the game continues. Also, let's set it up like this. All right, now let's say it's the player at the bottom's turn, and they play this blue 18. Our player up here can fill the gap by throwing the 17 at them. They have just emptied their hand. The round ends. Time to tally up your score after this player draws all the penalty cards they're supposed to. So even though somebody emptied their hand, the penalty draw must still happen. And then you would tally up your score for the round. It is possible for more than one player to empty their hand at the same time. So both of those players are just going to earn 0 points for the round. Once one or more players have emptied their hands, the round ends, and now it's time to tally up your score. Players look at the cards in their hand, and they count up the points on all their cards. Those points are added to their running total. So at the end of this round, our player at the bottom of the screen would have 6 points, and our middle player would have 8 points, and our top player would have 0. Once the score is tallied, if any player at the table has reached 18 points or more, the game comes to an end, and whoever has the lowest scored wins. If there's a tie for lowest score, you guys share the victory. If you're done tallying up your scores and nobody has reached 18 yet, you will continue the game by playing another round. To begin a new round, grab the penalty pile, all cards that were set aside, and then all other color and number cards. Shuffle them together and deal out a new hand. Continue playing rounds until one player or more reaches 18 points. At that point, whoever has the lowest score wins. You will not reshuffle the starter cards. Those will remain where they were originally positioned. And that's how to play Snailed It. I think this is a really fun little hand shedding game, and it's so interesting that a simple retheming made me a little more interested in it. I had seen Cabanga on the shelves, and it just didn't really pique my interest. But these Hasbro re-releases, they're at a better price point. I like the box size. They fit in the drawer a little better. And I enjoy the retheming of these games. Now, if you're a fan of Uno, I think you're going to like this. It is, in essence, just a hand-shedding game. You're trying to get rid of the cards from your hand. But there's also that element of chucking cards at other people at the table that I think is really fun, especially for families. If you have any games you would like to see, or if you have any questions about Snailed It, be sure to leave that down below in the comments. If you found this video helpful, the best thing you can do is subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, ring the bell, leave a comment. All those things really do help us out. I've got playlists for you here of other games you might enjoy. And as always, keep on playing.